Looking for ways to stretch your stash? Girl Math says if we have a supply we can use over and over again, it's basically free. Sounds right. In fact, choose the right supplies and they will even save you money in the future. A perfect example of this is the humble stamp and die set. You know the ones, they're generally used for card making. But why limit a supply like these just to cards when they can be more? So much more. That's my challenge for today. I've grabbed some basic supplies and I'll start by making a card. Then stretch those supplies out onto a scrapbook layout. I'll be working with Pink Fresh Studios Picture Perfect collection today, some dies from my stash, and this stamp and die set, also by Pink Fresh Studio. A big thank you to everyone who voted in the polls that I shared on the community tab here. You have helped me choose the supplies for this project. As I mentioned, I am going to be making a card and then a scrapbook layout in today's video, so I'm going to be doing all of my prep in advance. I do plan on doing some embossing, and the expert card makers who are watching this are quite possibly already screaming at the screen because I made a rookie mistake here. Turns out that the Memento ink that I used is really not the best for embossing. It dried way too quickly, which meant that I wasn't able to get that embossing powder on there fast enough. The coverage I've got is about 80% and it will have to do because I don't have an alternate ink to use. I'm super keen to get this project sorted today, so I will have to work with what I have. They are all die cut out perfectly, and I am going to be adding some colour with my Copic markers. I end up working with 5 of these stamped images in total. The first 2 I'll use on the card and then 3 more onto the scrapbook layout. I'm by no means at all an expert Copic colorist. I keep things very simple and I just really enjoy the process of colouring in. To find the perfect shade of pink for my florals, I'm actually going to colour match a pink from the collection. I've found the perfect match, so it's time to fill in these florals. Sorry to interrupt, but we do need to have a chat about a situation I've just found out about. You see, I've just noticed that 76% of you are not subscribed to the channel. That's a lot. That means that you could miss my very next video. I would hate for that to happen, so now's the perfect time to press the subscribe button like a sticker to a scrapbook. I would love to spend more time crafting with you. Next up, I want to prep some pieces of card using this cover plate die. I've embossed 2 into a singular panel that looks like this. That is going onto the scrapbook layout, and then a single panel I'm going to use for the front of the card. That's all my initial prep done. So I'm going to jump on in and start creating the card. The first thing I'm going to need is a sentiment, and I am going to go with this one that says celebrate. I have die cut that one out several times. I do plan to layer them up to make it stand out off of the background. But first, I do need to decide on the design for the card. The cover plate will create a textured background for the card, and I am going to mount it onto a pink piece of cardstock, and then my floral elements will be layered on top of that. I also have this pretty pink velvet ribbon that I'm going to use, and I will run it along the top edge like so. If you'd like a really neat professional finish with your ribbon, do not cut it off on the ends there, but rather wrap them around towards the back. I then secure them with some double-sided tape, and I have run stitching around the very outside edge of this card base. You don't have to, but if you do, it's a really lovely detail to add, and it does help keep everything very securely in place. On to the sentiment, and I'm not sure where I want to place it at this point. So it does get auditioned with a couple of options. I had actually forgotten that this die cuts the title out with that strip at the bottom. It helps keep all the letters together, but you do have to sort of engineer it in a way that that's not showing for the end result. The best option I could come up with was to hide it behind the ribbon, and that meant that I did have to trim off a couple of those leaves. Clearly, I'm not a professional card maker, because if I were, I would have planned for that. Now, while I was fixing that issue, I did realise that the blue in the cardstock that I had chosen was really not the right colour. So I've gone with plan B, which is some very smooth, very boring and plain white cardstock. I have cut it out, I think 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to layer them all up together. I want this title to have a bit of pop to it, a bit of dimension. I will say I'm super happy with the size of it and the way that it sits along that top edge there. That worked out beautifully. It's time to make the card base, and I've gone with a perfectly coordinated shade of green. I'm also going to use foam to attach the card front to the base. 2 reasons for that. Firstly, I love the extra dimension, and secondly, it gives a little bit of space for that ribbon that I've wrapped around the back there. I have one last finishing touch to add, and that's this fussy cut butterfly. This came together super fast, especially once all of that prep had been done. I love how it turned out, so it's now time to get started on the scrapbook layout. There is a little bit more preparation that needs to be done for the scrapbook layout, which includes some fussy cutting. Fun fact, I actually get complimented on my fussy cutting all of the time, and I did create a step-by-step video sharing all of my best tips and tricks. I will link it in a card here if you want to check that out later. Here's a look at the photo I'm working with today. Yes, it is of me. This was taken in my old craft studio, and for today's layout, I'm actually documenting a little bit more of my YouTube journey. My very first video was in June of 2020, and I love making YouTube content. I love sharing this craft with people all over the world, and I cannot believe that there are now 22,000 of you. I'm so lucky to have so many creative friends, and I love creating for you, and I thought it would be a great time to sort of document some of that. Generally speaking, I'm a very motivated personality, and I'm always like looking at what's next, but I've been working really hard on sort of taking a breath and looking back a little bit and seeing how far I've come, and this scrapbook layout is sort of part of that. I really wanted to take a moment to celebrate and document this pretty big milestone. Now on to building the layout, and I have started by creating a frame around the edge. I do that for 99% of my pages. Now remember, I'm stretching out my card supplies to create this scrapbook layout, and the first supply is that cover plate. I have used these before just as they are and popped them in with my paper layers, but for this layout I wanted to fill more of that background. So I have die cut it out of a single piece of card that is twice the length of the cover plate. Now don't worry about that seam or the join between the two plates because that's going to get covered up with pattern paper. It's going to form the structure of the layout, and all of my elements for my layout design are going to be anchored along that paper strip. The next item I am stretching onto this layout will be the stamped floral images. There was a good reason I created so many. These are actually going to form the base for all of my embellishment clusters. I am going to end up with 3 key embellishment clusters, and they will create a visual triangle and really help draw the eye around the page. I have mapped out their position, but before I stick them down, I want to be sure to add in a few extra paper layers for interest. I'm not entirely sure what these cards are for. I'm thinking maybe pocket scrapbooking, but I am actually just going to use them for extra detail and extra paper layers. I went with the apricot one mostly because it really coordinates beautifully with those fussy cut florals that I'll be using. I am always thinking ahead, and I'm always working towards getting a very cohesive looking layout. And one of the easiest ways I've found to do that is to replicate colors within the design and also within the layers of a design. It's actually one of the main reasons why my frame for the layout is often the same color frame that I use for my photo. Now, I know I've broken that rule for this page, but 90% of the time that outside border and my photo mat are the same pattern paper. You can see here now that each of the clusters now also has those fussy cut florals included. So I have that beautiful tone of peach spread right through the page. It's time to work on my title, and I am going to be using that same die that I used for the card. I'll layer up a couple of layers of white cardstock, but then this top layer is going to be a really pretty pink tone, and I have the same problem that I had with the card in that I need to hide that bottom strip. I need to tuck the title in behind something. It's actually going to fit perfectly there, and now with that in place, I can finalize these floral clusters. Things are getting serious because I'm gluing stuff down. I'm also going to lock into position those floral clusters because I'm really loving the bones and the structure of the page that I have happening now. The next step is to build out my embellishment clusters. I'm thinking a lot about the flow of the page, and I really want to add in extra details to have the page be really interesting to the eye. I'm considering the size and shape of the elements that I'm adding and also the color. I'm being super mindful not to disrupt the flow of the page. This die cut sentiment is perfect. It says, "All the flowers of tomorrow are the seeds of today." And I really love the sentiment in that and how it sort of ties in with all these florals that I have for my embellishments. I've created 479 videos for this channel, and you know what? I kind of consider each of those as seeds. I've planted them and then waited and watched, and they've grown into this beautiful creative community that we're all a part of. I think it's now more important than ever that we encourage and inspire each other. This love of paper that we all have is something really special. Have you noticed just how much auditioning I have done with that green puffy sticker book? I tried that book in so many places. Good news though, it does end up on the page. I do want to get the number 22,000 onto the layout, and I did find these very small alphabet thickers in my stash. They are the perfect size actually, because that number can nestle in above the title there really beautifully. They are foam, so they are a little bit soft and flexible, which made them a little bit tricky to position. I have pulled out my reversible tweezers, but I have to say, I am still on struggle street with those. I don't know whether it's the way that my brain works, but I really struggle to get them to work. I'm sure it's me. Using this collection turned out better than I had planned actually, because included are quite a few little elements that you could use for like a craft space or an office, like that little teacup and the pen that's under my photo. Remember too, I do find a spot for the book in the end. I'm still building out my embellishment cluster, and I am focusing now on using some of these puffy stickers. I love the extra texture that they add. They're a beautiful detail. And yes, the cute little book does end up sitting up the top there. Remember the butterfly from my card? Well, I thought it might be fun to add in a couple onto this layout too. I also found this very small round chipboard element that says today, and the thing I like about that one too is that it's black. There's a lot of black in my photo, and I wanted to try and bring it out just a little bit into the embellishments. I do have the black ink that I've stamped with the florals, so that helps there as well. I just thought that extra little pop could make the difference. Oh yes, and I'm so happy to get one of these onto the layout. This is from Maggie Holmes' Open Book 2014, and in fact this is one of my favorite collections of all time. It was beautiful, classic Maggie Holmes in an era, I think the golden era of scrapbooking. That will finish off the page along with some enamel dots, and of course I'll share with you some close-up images so you can see all of the beautiful details. This is not the first time I've stretched my card making supplies out onto a layout. So if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy this one too. Be sure to watch it next for another way to stretch your stash. I'll see you all again very soon. Until then, bye.